Hello everybody, Jeff here. Well, for today's project, or actually tonight's project, and it's about 7 o'clock on a Sunday night, so it's kind of late in the weekend to be getting started on this, but I've been busy with other things. But what I'm going to do is ever since I decided to use this little room as my main master bedroom, I've had this, in order to have my TV in here, and this is my old Zenith, with everything plugged in this power strip. This is really not good because I'm using a adapter to plug this big power strip into that 2-prong outlet. So what I'm going to try to do anyways, I'm going to put a grounded outlet in there. The way this is configured, and I've studied this quite a bit, this is the last outlet on the circuit in here. And there's a line running underneath the floor in the basement coming from that outlet over there. And this outlet, I believe, feeds from either up in the attic or in the wall somewhere. So I can't do this one easily. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that wire out and install a new wire and connect that into my basement wall plugs, which are right underneath here. So I'm hoping that'll work pretty easily. I'm hoping to be able to pull the old wire out down through the floor and attach the new wire to that and pull it down through, hopefully without cutting the wall out. I have no idea whether that wire's stapled up inside or not. We still got to take everything apart and find out. And I'll also have to pull that wire out of that outlet and eliminate that. So we'll get started. I probably won't video any of the actual doing of the job, but this is kind of a big project. Get started on so late on a Sunday night, and I'm going to have to I'm going to shut the breaker off, and when I do, it's going to kill my light. So I got my little portable clamp light in here, plugged into an extension cord, running all the way up into the kitchen where the next closest grounded outlet is. So without further ado, let's get started on this. Okay, we're in the basement right now. This is the wire running up to that outlet, and like I said, it just runs across here, and up in that other outlet. So we're going to be taking that out. Then I'm going to just run a wire and feed it into this wall outlet here, which will be temporary because when I go to rewire the whole rest of the room, we'll be changing that out, put it back on the circuit for that room. But at least this will give me a grounded outlet in there without having to put a GFI in there. So we'll see what we can do here. Hopefully, I got to move all this cardboard and stuff out of the way, but hopefully this will go pretty easy. And you can see what we got here. It's been drywalled over the top of the original plaster. A lot of the outlets in here are like this, so they're sticking out a little bit from the box. And they just had these little pieces of copper tube for spacers to stick it out. So I should put a box extender in there, but I don't have one, I don't think. So I'll probably just have to put them back in if I can do this. So we'll be back. Okay, unfortunately, I did have to cut a hole in the wall here. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but that wire is stapled down there. Hopefully that's the only one. We're going to try to pry that out without having to cut the hole anymore. Okay, I've got the wire out of the box. I'm going to reuse the whole box, and I got it running through the hole I made. Now what I'm going to do is go over to this other outlet and disconnect that wire from there. So I'm going to try to get away without having to cut a hole in there, because I'm not putting another wire into there right now. I'm going to just try to disconnect it, cut it, and maybe try to yank it out of the box or just cut the end off for now. Eventually I'll have to run a new wire into there, but I'm not doing that right now. So we'll get that apart. Okay, I've got that outlet out. I've got the wires disconnected and all separated. See, that outlet fell apart, so I'm going to have to put the one that was on the other one back into here. So what I'm going to do, everything's all separated. I'm going to turn the breaker back on so I can determine which wire is the feed. I'm pretty sure that the wire coming up from on the top is the feed, and the one on the bottom is the one I got to pull out. So let's see. And I was correct. Using this tester here, I've determined that I'm not going to be able to do this and hold the camera at the same time, but this top wire is the feed. That's live right now. This bottom one's dead. So what I'm going to do is shut the breaker back off. I'm going to cut these ends off, loosen up the clamp, and I'm going to see if I can yank this, since I'm not going to run another wire into this one right now. I'm going to try to yank this down through the box and through the hole. I'm sure that this one's stapled too, but I'm going to see what I can do, and if not, I'll just cut it off. So let's see what I can do there. Okay, before I try to pull the wire out of that other outlet, I've got my new wire taped up real good to the old wire, and I'm going to try to pull this down and pull the new wire down through the hole. That way I can get this end out, and I can loosen the staples up that are in the basement and get more leverage to pull the other end of this wire out of there. So let's see if we can do that. Okay, we got the camera propped up here and try to get this to stay. Okay, hopefully there's no more staples holding that up in there. It didn't seem like there was. So I'm going to very carefully try to pull this down. Okay, I'm hitting a snag here. Hold on. I have to make some adjustments upstairs. Let's move a little bit at a time here. And there it is. Pull enough of this through, so I have to unkink it from up there, but at least I got it through. I have to pull enough of this down so it goes around the outside and down into there. Okay, I wasn't able to get that wire out of there without cutting this wall open. I'm pretty sure it's stapled in there. So what I did was cut most of it off downstairs, wrapped it up, put a sign on it, said dead, and just poked the rest of it down through the bottom of the box. So when we get ready to do the rest of the rewiring, I'll cut this open then, and I can use that wire to pull. Then I can pop that staple out, use that wire to pull a new wire up through here. But it'll be a few months before that happens. So what we're going to do is hook that outlet back up here. I'm going to use the one that was on the other side because the one that was in here fell apart. So, and we got to hook the undergrounded outlet back up. Okay, we have that outlet hooked back up, so I can turn the juice back on and have some light in here. Really hate the idea of hooking this old wiring, old outlets back up, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not doing a complete rewire here. Not at this time. When I go to rewire, I'm gonna be doing the dining room, living room first. That's why I wanted to do this temporary thing. Okay, I got the power turned back on. Got my lamp plugged back in here. Clock is flashing, so I prove that outlet's working. Now, to work on this. Yeah, I'm going to have to unkink the wire here. And pull more wire downstairs. Okay, I got the power shut off for this wall outlets. So, now this is going to be fun. I got to shove that wire down this conduit. Okay, that went easier than I expected. So I'm going to get that hooked up right now and put it back together. Okay, I got it hooked back up. I got it all stapled around there and running up. Time to go hook up the outlet upstairs. Okay, we got that outlet installed and hooked up, turned on. And as you can see, we have a ground on it now. Plus it's even got GFI protection on it. Now all I got to do is clean up the mess and patch up that hole. Which, I don't think I want to get really too carried away with patching up that hole just yet, because when I do the actual rewire, I'm going to want to run another wire up in there and add another outlet down towards this way. So I might we'll just poke them back in and slap a little bit of mud over it just to seal it. But we'll be opening that back up when I do the actual rewire. So now I got a mess to clean up. So you have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.